My name is Stephan Nance, and my pronouns are they, them. I am a white person with short strawberry blonde hair and brown eyes, wearing a short sleeve button down shirt featuring pelicans in boots. And behind me is a bookcase and a bed. In this excerpt from the Northern Great Basin Feminist Bird Club, teen birder Sayer Dunn has just run away to a wildlife refuge in Eastern Oregon. I gave Val a euphemistic version of the story. After spring break, my parents decided to take an interesting new approach in their relationship with me. They arranged some thought-provoking encounters with an improbable mentor. This ultimately resulted in an engaging visit to a prestigious institution. Finally, the pursuit of fundamental truths inspired me to come to Tulare a bit in advance of my summer residency. Starting immediately, I would undertake an interdisciplinary project that would satisfy my remaining academic requirements and allow me to graduate with honors. I didn't mention the church or the hospital or the police, and by with honors, I meant at all. Some might call this lying. My friend Mercy would call it aspirational reframing. We've all heard it said that you should dress for the job you want, not the job you have, and frankly, my clothing options were limited. Of the few clothes I'd brought to Mercy's from my parents' house, only one pair of ill-fitting jeans and two threadbare t-shirts made the cut for my sudden departure to Tulare. Dressing to impress was not in the realm of possibility. Speaking to impress was all I had. Furthermore, do the gatekeepers of fantastic opportunities want to hear the traumatic details of my downward spiral? No, they just don't. They're headed in the opposite direction, riding first class on the positivity train. It was time to talk myself up, focus on my strengths, do and say whatever it took to meet my needs. And what did I need? I needed to start my residency now. I needed to finish high school. Above all, I needed to focus on my art. I was so sick of everything getting in the way of my art. So I didn't give Val the whole sordid story. But as Mercy always says on her hit self-help podcast, honesty is an overblown virtue. That's the quote on her best-selling merch, so I'm inclined to believe it. Amazingly, my explanation satisfied Val, who nodded and said, "All right, but Sayer, we don't have the finances to support you from now through the end of the summer." I had anticipated this and promptly presented the project outline that I had been holding casually at my side for just this purpose. Val in turn presented her latex-gloved hands with a helpless shrugging gesture. So I set the paper next to the tray where she was dissecting what would appear to the uninitiated to be a large black turd. I recognized it immediately as an owl pellet. Owls swallow their prey whole, and before they can have their next meal, they typically need to regurgitate a pellet containing all the indigestible bits, bones, fur, teeth, what have you. Val glanced at my outline, still holding her hands up, like a surgeon after scrubbing. The probes and forceps and other tools of dissection on her metal tray added to the effect. I pointed out my various self-imposed deadlines and progress targets, 20 in-depth profiles and sketches of resident birds over the next month, and then a pruning period of sorts, narrowing my focus to the most charismatic species. The end result? A major artistic achievement that would satisfy my remaining high school requirements and reflect fantastically on the Tulare Living Learning Center. Looking at my outline, I almost convinced myself that I'd planned it out oh so carefully. It looked like something Mercy would have labored over for weeks. She's the queen of project outlines. In truth, I had thrown it together rather hastily not an hour earlier. Fortunately, before I left my pod, I had done a run-through of my spiel and of the whole interaction. First, I sat on my daybed as myself, then I stood up to respond as Val. In my run-through, me as Val had asked a lot of hard-hitting questions, but ultimately, my pep and ingenuity won her over, and she commended me for embodying everything the center stands for. In reality, Val was taciturn, a rattlesnake tattoo wrapped around her right forearm, the mouth open wide near the elbow. Her hands were still held up in front of her, but even upside down, the snake's sharp teeth and dripping venom were intimidating. Thank you.